Hey everyone, welcome back to another video, and in today's video I'm going to show you guys how to install the side chrome deletes for the 2022 Lexus ES 250. So this is how it looks before the installation. It's just a regular chrome design on the door window trim, and this is how it looks after the installation. So we use the gloss black material, that way it matches the pillars of the door. If you like the product, link for the product will be down in the description below. But with that being said, let's get started with the installation video. So before we start the installation, we want to make sure we prep the panels that we're going to be working on. So I'm just going to use 70% alcohol mixed with water and just clean off the panels by removing any contaminants that the panels might have. And then afterwards, we want to make sure that the panel itself is dry. For all the installations for the chrome deletes, we require a dry installation. Okay, so we're going to start off with this section of the chrome pieces first and then move on with the actual door trim. So with this one, it's just aligning it to the edge of the chrome and making sure you give yourself enough material to go all around. Start from one end and just go all across and apply the rest. Once we place it, the next step is tacking it down. For this one, you can trim off the excess material, or you could just add heat so it overlaps with this one. It would be personal preference. But if you are going to trim off the material, just be careful not to scratch the paint. And then for this section here, we are going to need to trim off, that way it doesn't block the light lens here. So we're just going to pass our blade slowly. But right now I'm making a cutout to see where my blade can pass without scratching either the paint or the turn signal. So just take your time when trimming around here. You don't have to apply too much pressure. It's just as long as you're making the cutout, you should be able to just trim off without any issue. Now we can move on with the door panels. So like any other installation that we've done, you just want to start off from one end and work your way to the other sections, and make sure to always give yourself enough material to cover the chrome on curves and underneath the panels as well. So align it to this edge, give yourself enough material. So once you align it, use the bottom half of the chrome as a guide to install it here. And then once you install it here, just work your way to the top section. And if you notice, you are going to have excess material. That excess material we just trim off once we finish applying it and tightening it down. So apply heat to help it tighten down. Okay, once you place it, you can start trimming off any excess material, and then after you trim off, just help it tighten down once again. Okay, so now we move on to the next installation. With this one, align it to the edge and use the bottom half of the door panel to align the film. So you can leave it there and start working on the panel here. So right on the edge, and then work your way section by section. Once you have it aligned, the next thing is to tack it down. So with your squeegee, just go all across and making sure you start tacking down the film. And then with this one, you could either tuck in the excess material that you have or trim off. It would be up to your personal preference. For the purpose of this installation, we're just going to trim off to make it easier. We could apply heat all across here to help start tacking down the film to the panel. And if you have available, you can also use a heat resistant glove in order to help you tack down the film, and that way it also helps from burning your fingers. And then for this last section here, just trim off the excess material and you should be done. Okay, so now just rinse and repeat the same steps to the bottom one. Align it and use the bottom half of the panel as a guide in order for you to align the film to the panel. And once you finish aligning it, start tacking it down. Tack it down from the middle and then from the top. And then here, we're just going to trim off the excess material and excess material on top of this piece as well. Now once we trim off all the excess material, now we can start applying heat to seal the film. Okay, so once you're done installing the front panel, the next thing to do is just continue on with the rear door side and the quarter panel here. For these two sections, rinse and repeat the same steps that we did for the front. Once you get to this section here, it's practically the same thing, aligning and tacking down and removing any excess material. So just rinse and repeat the process. Okay, so for this last section, it's almost like the front piece that we installed. So it's the same concept. The only thing is this one doesn't have a cutout to trim off. Everything's gonna stay onto the panel. So you wanna start off by aligning it to this edge first. And like always, making sure you give yourself enough material to cover the rest of the chrome. So like that, take your time in installing it. With this one, I would recommend having the door open so you can have more room to work with. And now all we need to do is just continue applying the outer section first. And then with heat, we're going to apply here little by little. So with a little bit of heat, we should be able to help tack down this small curve here. And just continue until you tack everything down. And then for this, you could either trim off the excess material or try to tack it down to this section of the panel here, because it does have chrome, but it's personal preference. If you would like to actually tack it down, what I recommend doing is applying heat. That way we can tack it down to this panel here. And then little by little start bringing it to the other side. So like I said, it's personal preference. So if you want to apply it to this section, you can, or you could just trim it off, depending. So right here, we have enough to cover everything, so you just trim off the excess material. And just continue adding heat, that way we help the adhesive activate faster and it sticks better to the panel. So the last thing to do once you finish installing the whole side chrome delete is post heating all around. So the reason why we want to post heat is just to help the adhesive on the panels activate faster, and so that they won't lift over time as well. So just with your heat gun, go all around and start helping the adhesive on the film activate faster. Okay, so that concludes the installation video for the side chrome deletes for the 2022 Lexus ES 250. We hope that this video helped you guys out with the installation. If it did, don't forget to drop a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell. That way you don't miss any upcoming installation videos. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.